Something for everyone, a tragedy tonight, or a comedy. Socrates said you can't write one without being able to write the other. Now this guy was just saying that someone he knows said that there was going to be a Ra's going to come out and say, well, the crucifixion wasn't as you thought. The Jews were not really responsible. I've never heard in my entire life anyone blaming the Jews for Jesus' death. No, that's sort of a paranoid situation that happened. In fact, if anything, I heard them taking credit for him being a Jew. So it's totally the opposite that I've heard. Like, look at that song, remember, in the 90s, like, oh, all these people are Jewish, like all these like rich and famous and the super smart people of the world, all the successful people are Jewish. I've never heard them once ever. And then all the Christians, the evangelicals since the 80s, supporting Israel. My God, which one didn't? Saying that Jesus was a Jew. I even learned Hebrew and Israeli folk dancing and all of that stuff. I went through the whole thing. I took the whole tour. So we never blamed anybody for anything. So I don't know where this is coming from, but we need a psychological breakthrough, and I want to look at human-demon hybrids right now. And look at the word cambion, C-A-M-B-I-O-N. This coincides with these demon children that I believe is, you'll find that this is actually an origin of hermaphroditic nature, and also, but in medieval times it was like if you had a child that couldn't stop crying and not enough breast milk was enough, and it was just crying all the time, it was probably one of these chimeras or one of the changelings. It's like, my God, maybe I was one, because I cried a lot as a kid. But see, they would actually think it was good. Even Martin Luther said that it was good to kill babies, infants that were these things. Isn't that weird? It literally means to exchange, and you could also take the succubus-incubus legends where, and now Bobby Hemmett was saying that even, I didn't believe in cloning, but the way they do it is they kind of have a dead guy like The Walking Dead, and then just kind of take over the fetus that is in the womb because it was embraced by a man, a dead man anyway. But you can look into all this now. When you look at ancient history and you look at the Bible and all that stuff, well, we cannot ignore these guys, this stuff. It's gross, like Lilith, but you can translate all of the pantheon of the Sumerian gods, think Ghostbusters, and translate them into the ancient Greeks, and even the whole family, all these monsters of the Iliad. They kind of all have the same jealousies and incest and misplaced loyalties and tragedies that just continue on the thing. So you need to go into this and realize that these are all fallen, so-called fallen angels or whatever, fallen carbon stars that created. Look at that, to Göbekli Tepe. What does that look like to you? It looks like a bunch of things that are creating mud pies. So what they were not wanting, it seems, that is for Jesus' incarnation that was going to be the big daddy of them all, he impregnating the virgin, as opposed to these homunculus pregnancies of succubuses and incubuses. But they didn't want they got jealous of mankind, so they didn't want mankind to house the highest divine of nature and math and science and physics all in one. They are like, we're not going to bow down to that coming through the stupid mail. But this is just a suggestion to look into this and to think, wow, that we're still not above our neuroses here. We are still not above the neuroses, and I don't want any aliens to help either. So what I recommend is this book called Trauma as Medicine. It's a book that I believe will help the whole country of China, because talk about a country that had been lassoed because of being considered docile. by the rest of the world, the Chinaman, you don't stand a Chinaman's chance, that kind of a thing, because, they're a lot of them are very, very humble people in sandals and squatting and farmers. So they have been really unfairly screwed over mass worldwide for a long time. And just ignore the crazy rich Asians bullshit of these spoiled brat ones. These are anomalies, or you could say they are demon possessed with the demons of the pantheon of Gilgamesh. They are demon possessed. But this trauma as medicine will help, because Steve Quayle interviewed a guy, I forget his name, but he was freaked out about China because he had this system of positive shit that he went to China and he taught them all this stuff, or he sold them his program, and now he's saying, oh, China's a threat. So it's like, well, if you don't want people to become a psychopath by just quoting, I am so great, I am the great, I am so great, just like on The Simpsons, the cult leader, you have to go in and face the truth of what you did and who made you do it, and get around this all up, and then do like Night of the Iguana, like she had to tie that guy down in order for him to go through this panic thing until he wasn't writhing anymore in anger, and then deal with the reparations, because this is big stuff. Because when you kill off your elders and all the wise people of your land, your culture, and your people, this is not something easy to get over, and you're not going to get over it by just saying things to myself like, I am so good, I am a good person, and I have a good day today. Okay, enough of this fucking denial stuff. This is really not going to get anywhere good. It is like Uncle Fester here. I recommend this book en masse to any peoples that have been traumatized, especially China. Even if they don't admit that they need it, they do.